Hey everybody. Apparently my hair is in Mercury retrograde as well. So forgive me, I can't do anything with it. Can't wait till I get my new mic. Oh, that's better. Mercury retrograde. I can handle this. All right. So let me put everything aside here. Hello, hello. Welcome everybody. It's Friday, February 5th. 2021. I'm going live on Friday afternoon because I just need a mental break from everything and I want to talk to everybody. So today I have topics to talk about and I'm taking your questions. So if you have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat box. Look at me forgetting to put that there. Put it in the chat box and put your date of birth there. And remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I can't believe, guess what? I am over 1,000 subscribers. I started in October, and I know that sounds like a baby channel on YouTube, but I'm just super excited. So I'm here for you to do readings. Ask me anything. I also want to talk about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, only because just like Taylor Swift, they're popping up in my dreams. And I have some information. I don't know, information. I just have some insight, a little bit of insight, and I, feel bad for both of them. And I think that's a complicated situation right there with Kanye and Kim. What else am I going to talk about today? The Mercury retrograde we are going through right now is so major. I haven't felt a Mercury retrograde like this in years. I had somebody message me yesterday, the day before, telling me like their ex wanted to get back together with them, and I'm like, oh my god. Do not do anything in Mercury retrograde other than chew food and watch TV. Because if we do anything other than that for the next 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, oh, big problems, big problems. Mercury retrograde is not fun. For those of you who don't know what Mercury retrograde is, it is has to do with astrology, and our planetary systems are kind of pulling back. If I could make this easy for everybody to understand, pulling back, and it makes everything really bumpy for a while. Everybody's life gets really complicated. So for the next 3 weeks, and I'm going to say 3.5, because after Mercury retrograde ends, we still have that shadow period where a couple days after it ends, it's still not that great. So don't do anything. Don't go into any kind of, business deals. Don't go into any, deep romantic relationships for the next 3 weeks. You just need to coast. And when you coast, you're going to survive and make it to March. Now, this Mercury retrograde, seriously, is... I've been seeing this for months, and I'm just going to say it. Like, we are going to have a problem with our connection. I don't know if we want to call it the grid. It's having problems already, but in the next 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, we're going to have lots and lots of issues with the grid. So when your internet goes down, don't even worry about it. It'll come back up. If it doesn't come back for a day or two, that's fine. It's a test in fear. We just need to stay positive and know that it's just a test and everything's going to be fine. I mean, at some point it had to give, right? Because we're all on the internet. What's it been? Almost a year now that we're just home on the internet. God bless us all, right? So again, it's Friday, February 5th, 2021, and welcome to my channel. I'm just here taking questions. I want to talk about a few things going on in pop culture. I'm also going to explain about my Life Path series. I do have a Life Path series coming out on my YouTube channel, and what I'm doing, everybody asks me why I ask for the date of birth. What I'm doing with your date of birth is numerology, but it's more in depth numerology than what most people are looking at. So I take your birth date and then I connect through, like my cards, I bridge to the other side. And I look at what I'm seeing. So the other side gives me visions. Sometimes they give me words. I hear lots of music. This morning, they were very loud in my ear. I had to actually take my headset off and be like, okay, let's tone it down a little bit. So when I ask for your date of birth, it's because I am looking at where your life path baseline is. What I'm going to be doing, I have a life paths 1, 2, and 3 out already on YouTube. I'm going to be explaining each life path number that's going to be going. So if you're a life path 1, 2, or 3, I explained that already, and I'm going to be doing 1 through 9, and then master numbers 11, 22, 33, and I'm going to give some insight on 44, even though it's not technically a master number. It's there, so why not talk about it? All right, so let's see. Look at my notes here. Let me look at the questions coming in from the other platform. All right. You're looking at a new job. Okay, so as I said, Mercury retrograde in the new job. We don't want to do that. But let me see what it looks like for. I think it's going to stick around. You're asking me. I think your job's going to stick around, and you don't have to make a decision right away. Let me see what this says. Hold on. All right, here we go. You have a lot of leadership ability with you. A lot of leadership ability. They're telling me you need to hold out for some more things. Yeah, you need to hold out a little bit more. All right. Cornerstone is that you have difficulty defining your purpose. So I'm going to talk over here to YouTube, even though I know you're here. So this person's asking me about this job offer that they're asking me that they got offered this week. And what I'm seeing here is that you're having a difficulty defining purpose. Is this a job that you don't necessarily want to take, but you need the money? Hello, 2021. They're saying, just like I said earlier, Mercury retrograde is really throwing a wrench in all of this. So if you can hold out before making a decision for another 3 weeks, that's what you need to do, because you're going to see clarity. I don't think this is the job for you, but you also need to keep it as an option for right now. Hello to those who just came. I'll get back to your question 1 second. Okay, hon? Welcome everybody who just came. If you have a question for me, make sure you put it in the chat box with your date of birth, because I use that as a bridge to the other side to help me understand your life path. I'm going to be talking about the Kardashian soon. I'll reiterate what I said about Mercury retrograde just a little bit ago, and talk about the law of attraction. And any other questions you want to bring me, just put it in the chat box. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, please. Thank you. I see. Okay. I will get to your question in 1 second. Let me just finish up this other one. So, hon, what we're talking about here is Mercury retrograde really does put things in a precarious situation, whereas you don't want to go into any kind of job, you don't want to go into any kind of contract, long-term relationship for the next 3 weeks, because this Mercury retrograde is heavy. And I think what we're going to be coming out of this retrograde really, really, really well. It's just we need to hold on for the next 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm going to just say your job is not what you're being offered. You need to hold out for more. Okay. There's something about you needing to do something else. All right. And if you have any questions, just hop over to YouTube and put in the chat box. Okay. All right. Why am I so depressed? Will I ever have good days in my life? Well, that's what depression does to us, hon, right? It makes us feel like we're never going to feel better about our lives. And the big difference with depression that really is hard for everybody is that you have to force yourself to do things. I'm going to put your cards down in 1 second, but what my guides are reminding me is something I needed to know when I was going through lots of depressions was, or I should just say one really long one, is I had to force myself to do things like go out of the house. Even if I knew I enjoyed it and I didn't feel I enjoyed it at the time, I made myself go do it, because later on in the day, I'm like, I'm really glad I did that. And that's how you get yourself out of a depression, because you are the only one who can get it out. It does not mean any kind of situational. It does not mean somebody else can come along and make your life magical and wonderful. You are the only one that can get yourself out of the depression by pulling yourself out. And it probably is the hardest thing anybody can ever do, is pull themselves out of depression. But look at me, it can be done. I did it, and so can you. Let me see what your cards are saying to me, okay? Your birth date is... Okay. There is something holding you back. I'm going to get to what that is in 1 second. Like, I'm feeling a lot of pressure here. Are you sick? Is there something... Like, I'm having a lot of trouble. You can hear me breathing. Do you have asthma or something here with your lungs, your chest area? Because it feels like a lot of pressure. And let me get your life path number right quickly. So your attitude's a 4. And five. Okay. That's an interesting combination that you have here. Okay, so your life path is a 5, and they're telling me to check that one more time. Fives are interesting just in that fives are very complicated and I like to say chaotic, but you like the chaos. You like that feeling of being travel. You like traveling. You like being constantly moving. So the depression would probably have to do with the fact that you are stuck. I'm going to check this one more time, just because when they tell me to check it. 19. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, a 5. So you're very fives love not being held down. Fives do not like being they like moving. They like constantly moving. They definitely don't like 9 to 5 jobs. They don't like any kind of anything that makes them feel trapped. Will make a 5 feel unbelievably depressed. I mean, more so than the normal person. So when you're a 5 and you're not feeling the highest and best life of yourself, you tend to get have addictive behaviors. So it doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol. It literally could be anything that when you're depressed as a 5. And the only thing that's really going to get you out of a depression when you're a 5 is that you go somewhere else, like physically have to be somewhere. I'm seeing a lot of water for you, like water's your thing. You need to be around water in order to find yourself. So the cornerstone of this, sweets, is you are extremely powerful and intellectual. Hi, Nesbeth, I'll be right with you, okay? You're very, very powerful, but right now you're having trouble seeing the sunshine. The sun is reversed. Cornerstone is you've placed too much power on material things. So I think what they're telling me here is that you're putting too much pressure on yourself to do what other people are wanting you to do. And if that makes sense, Ash, Sharia, if that makes sense, let me know, okay? Because you're not actually living your life for you yet. You are living your life in order to make everybody else happy. And as a 5, and you have a 4 attitude, so a 5 is very much like a tornado kind of a thing. Like you like to go everywhere, you like to do anything, and your attitude is a 4, which is very, very just straight, narrow, truthful. You need to know what's going on, and it's an interesting balance between a 5 and a 4. But you need to start living your life for yourself. Okay, that's what this is showing me. Is almost everything is flipped, and that just do it. They're saying just do it. Just do it. Whatever you are struggling with, there's something you want to struggle with, and everyone else is like, no, why would you want to do that? Just do it. Okay. If you have another question about this, just let me know because I can elaborate. All right, Nesbeth, date of birth, got it. I would like clarity on the attachment between myself and my ex-boyfriend. Really cool name, by the way, Walcott. Mercury Retrograde's here. Oh my gosh. Welcome to my channel. I was just talking about Mercury Retrograde. I'm going to take a pause here for everybody. Mercury retrograde right now is probably the heaviest I've ever felt it in my entire life, this Mercury retrograde. And I think it's because it's coming off the energy of 2020. So yeah, you are absolutely right that Mercury retrograde, you need to be extra cautious. I told a client of mine yesterday, I'm like, do not do anything other than chew food and watch TV for the next 3 weeks, because that's exactly what you need to do in this Mercury retrograde. It's just, it's a mess right now. I also am feeling that stuff's going to happen with our grid, our system of being connected to one another, like our internet, our banking system. It's going to get a little cloggy for the next 3 weeks, but don't panic because it's not going to be long term. It's just another test for the universe in fear. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button and you hit the subscribe button for me, thanks. I put the link to make a reading with me at the top. All right, Nesbeth, let me get your life path number. Your master number 11, which not every 2 is 11, but that's your attitude, which is actually a really good attitude number to have, an 11. So you're an 1111. Okay. So your life path number, Nesbeth, is a 2, but your attitude and your life path are 11. 11 goes down to a 2. And what that means is, and I think I said this last week, that when you have the same numbers, and now that you have 2 master numbers, it's like when you have whipped cream on top of your whipped cream. It's like extra, extra special. You're one of 2 people I've ever run into with this, with an 11-11 attitude and life path. So an 11 is, and they're telling me your guides are going to show you 11-11-11-11 a lot. So you know you're on the right path. And I know that's really cliche, but it means a lot for you. So an 11 means you have lots of ideas. You have a lot of ideas. You have a lot of energy. You want to make things happen. And sometimes you just don't know how to make things happen. But don't lose that energy. Don't get frustrated. And your 2 is a balance and a harmony. So this guy, oh God. Okay, so he'd like to be in charge. Okay. Let me put your cards out. So as a 2, you like balance and harmony. You like everything that you don't like conflict. You don't like any kind of disagreement. You really don't like it. You're a double 2. So, I mean, you just run from conflict. So, and this boyfriend, this ex-boyfriend, has a lot of domineering energy about him. Okay, let's see. All right, so your central idea is facing challenges and you don't want to face those challenges. This was not a breakup that you wanted. But I think it was needed. A cornerstone. Okay, so this whole period of your life, you're questioning about this relationship is a rite of passage. You were supposed to learn from this relationship, not have it go long term. And right away, when I saw your name and his name, it really showed me that you have an energetic connection, and we all do. Any relationships we have energy cord. It's almost like when a baby has an umbilical cord. We have cords with everybody that we've met, we have relationships with. And when we, oh good, thank you for validating that. I really appreciate it. When we have especially romantic relationships and when they turn physical in romantic relationships, those cords become very, very ingrained in us. My guides are telling me that is something that you need to, cord cutting is something you need to, oh yeah, this is important. Cord cutting. Look up Nikki Sutton on YouTube. She does cord cutting. She did one for me. She's fantastic. She also has her own webpage. It's nikkisutton.com. Her cord cuttings are so effective. I feel like when I had it done, I thought, talking about depression and being hooked onto people, like I thought I couldn't breathe without having these people in my life, even though they had long left. And after I had this energetic cord cutting, it made me feel like a new person, like I was me again. I could be me. So I think that's what's going on here is that your energy is so tied to him. So you're feeling his negativity coming through this cord, and it's not you. You're energetically tied to him and it needs to be cut. So your cards down here are talking about how you're supposed to learn about this. You also need to practice protecting yourself, protecting your energy. So even if you don't get the cord cutting, just ask your guides to protect you with the white light. I look at it like the Harry Potter invisibility cloak. Put that over you and then ask them to block any negative energy from anybody that's coming towards you, and you should feel a little bit of a lighter release. But this is a cord, Nesbeth, that you do need to get cut by somebody who's trained in it. Nikki Sutton is fantastic. Stop pushing. Stop pushing. This is not supposed to be something that you need to pursue. Definitely not something you need to pursue. There are other things coming down the pike for you that are much, much better. And you're right about Mercury retrograde. This person might be coming back in your life actually right now to ask you back, but that is literally just the Mercury retrograde rearing its head. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm going to talk about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West real quick. Or if anybody else has any questions, you can put it in the chat box. So I've been a long time viewer of the Kardashians, so I know a whole lot about this. So this is generally why I don't talk about it, because I do have a bit of background, like everybody else has been watching them for 10, 12 years. But in dreams have been coming since you're welcome, Nesbeth. So these dreams that have been coming since this announcement of the divorce, but let's all be very clear that there isn't a divorce filed. What I'm very much seeing here is that, I mean, we got to think about Khloe and how Khloe helped Lamar. Like, I can't really expect Kim to dump her husband, because it's really just not in the family. They help so much. They help so many people. And I know a lot of people don't think that, but they really are just like just a normal family who happens to have a show and billionaires now. Kanye West is a genius. He's a genius. Artistic genius. And this happens with people with bipolar, is that when they go on their medicine or whatever treatment, they feel like they change. They don't like it. They lose that connection to that artistic genius that they have, especially him. I mean, he is just on it with artistic genius. So when he's not in treatment, that is when we see him spiraling out of control. But he feels like he is his best, his natural state, because he's such an artistic just level. When I'm saying genius, I'm talking Da Vinci. I'm talking like major. Like, Kanye is up there, and in ways that people don't actually understand. It's not just music. Like, his mind just goes da, 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 which just makes him fascinating. But again, when he's not on treatment, like, that's when he's feeling his best. A lot of people who have bipolar say that when they're in treatment, it takes him down a notch, and he does not like that, especially him. He's a very strong personality. I do not feel that Kim actually wants to go through with this divorce. I really think she's dragging her feet. I think she's waiting to see what's going to happen. That said, I do think Kim is struggling a lot in this, because she does love him. She does want to stay with him, but she sees the struggle for her and her children in this. The thing I wanted to bring up, though, is she needs to realize, she either needs to face this and realize, like, and face it, because this is a struggle she chose to have in her life, and clear it. Because, hey, Dee, thanks. She needs to clear this, because this is a struggle she had and she planned in her life. And if she doesn't face this with Kanye and work it out, and she chooses to run with it, it's going to come up in her children. Because we know, like, bipolar is genetic. So this is, although a medical issue, okay, medical issue, it is being chosen to be faced in this family on a spiritual level as a karmic pattern, and it needs to be faced by all of them and dealt with, or it will keep coming back. And I say this with all the love of my heart to Kim Kardashian, her family, and Kanye West, that there's no reason to fear this. There's no reason to run from it. I had a family member with bipolar. I know what this feels like. I also know what it is to lose them, because the family member chose not to live anymore. And I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see that happen for anybody in this family. This is doable. This is workable. And Kim and Kanye have this great love together, great love story. And I know everybody likes to go, oh, it's poo-poo, everyone, conspiracy. No, they are very much in love. Kim just has a different way to go about things. She's very, very like, this is the way I'm doing it. Her life path number, I worked it out last night, is, her life path number is like very, very straight on. This is the way I'm doing it, but she loves to be traveling. She's a 5, loves all this. Where Kanye is, again, he's a 2. He likes harmony. He likes balance, where, they very much are meant to be, meant to be. And this is just a struggle they're having. And I hope everybody sends them prayers. I'm sending them prayers. I really am rooting that they come through this very well. If anybody has questions about it, just let me know in the comment box. Welcome everybody new. Make sure you like this live and subscribe to my channel. D, okay. Okay, so the first thing that came in my head when you're asking this question about why he came in your life, they literally just said to me, to make you question everything about yourself. I don't know what that means yet, but that's what just literally they were said to me. So, and when I say they, everybody, I mean my guides, and I point over here because I hear them over here. My guides talk to me while I'm talking to you. It's an interesting try to battle. So when I'm quiet, I'm listening to them. Let me do your life path. Let me know what you think about that statement. He came into your life for you to question everything about yourself. 8, 24. Wow, a lot of 11s and 2s today. Okay. You have, I just looked at this. It's interesting. You have, okay, D, you have the exact same combination as Kanye. So I was like, I just saw this. You have a 2 as a life path number, which you love balance, but your approach of things is a little chaotic. Okay. So you want balance, but you approach it in a chaotic way. Let me see what it's saying about the future here. Is he on a high? They're showing me a higher level. Higher level. I think it's him, not you. All right, let's switch your card say. Okay, your cards are telling me that this is actually a connection. Center card is the Lover's card, which means that, and it's upright, which means that you have a soul connection with this person. And if you're telling me, I got really dizzy. Was that surprising? I just got really dizzy. So when the Lover's card comes up, that tells me that there is a soul connection. It may not mean though what you mean it to mean. So let me continue with the reading and let's go through this. So in it was a new endeavor. You stepped out. This was something new that you tried. It was something like, did you talk to him? Like, I don't know what to say on a dare, or it was something new, like something new about it. The center is, yeah, I mean, you're really going towards like a soul connection. Enlist the help of others. I almost get the feeling that you feel like you are not like up to standard, is what they're saying. And you're kind of putting out that you're putting out the vibration, because remember the law of attraction works on vibration, and you're putting out the vibration that please pay attention to me, please pay attention to me, in kind of a way that's like you don't think very much of yourself. Whereas if you would do that in a way that's like, I'm the best, you're going to love me, you need to come talk to me, you're going to find nobody else, blah 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 blah. If you put that positivity out there, that's going to turn everything around, because it's definitely him holding this up. But change your vibration. And because remember, the law of attraction doesn't fix things, and the law of attraction does not give us what we want, it gives us what we are. So if you're feeling that you are being neglected or ignored, you're going to continue being neglected and ignored. And all it's going to take for you to change your vibration, and the law of attraction is going to do this, and everything you're asking me about is going to come true. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to my channel. All you have to do is put your question in the chat box with your date of birth and your question, and I will, my guides always jump in right away before I even get to the cards. And then I have lots of stuff to talk about. We talked about Mercury retrograde. If anybody has a question, tell me what your Mercury retrograde has felt like for you, because mine's been like, woo! Could you send me the link? Yeah. Actually, I was going to do that. Thank you for reminding me. Nikki's fantastic. And she reminds me of Tinkerbell. Like, she's so lovely, and like she has a nice accent. It's so great. All right, so it's nikkisutton.com. What Nesbeth is asking me about. For anybody that's new here, she was asking about a relationship, and I really feel that she has a strong energetic cord attachment to her prior relationship. And I had Nikki Sutton, and here's the link. I had Nikki Sutton go and do a cord cutting. And honestly, Nikki did the cord cutting for me with my parents, because my parents are not very healthy and nice people. And they haven't talked to me in years, and I was blaming myself. Like, what did I do? And then when I had the cord cutting, I realized that it wasn't me at all. And my best friend Holly had the cord cutting too. You're welcome. Yeah, it was talk. Yeah. I mean, he has a lot of this energy. It's like heavy energy. My friend Holly had the cord cutting done for her ex too. And when I tell you the change in Holly after that cord cutting, it was amazing, because Holly used to like call me from where she was working and send me the voicemails and say, can you please listen to this? Because if she would even hear his voice, she'd shake and like couldn't do anything else. After that cord cutting, she's perfectly fine. Like, there's no even anything after being in that relationship. I mean, if I hadn't gone it through myself, I wouldn't tell you that this is such a great thing to do. But Nikki Sutton, she also has a book coming out next month on soul awakening. It's on that webpage too. So check out her book too. She is just probably one of the most fabulous people on YouTube. You'd want to subscribe to her channel too. She does what I do. Well, almost what I do. She doesn't do the psychic thing, but she does the spiritual guidance thing. Again, if you're new, make sure you hit like and subscribe to my channel. Anybody have any other questions? They're telling me to reiterate for those who just came about Kanye West, and that we shouldn't be too hard on him. And just pray for them, because I do feel like there's a strong love connection there between Kanye and Kim, and a lot of this is dragging between the two of them. And I'll just reiterate what I said before, is that when you have a disease such as bipolar, or I don't know that he exactly has bipolar, but I'm not a doctor, but it's something in that umbrella that when they have these things and they're on medication and they're in treatment, it like dulls them. Like, they don't feel like them. And Kanye is a level of artistic genius that we don't see very often. So for him to for him to have that dulled, that artistic genius in him, and he really is like this spark, a spark of a personality. And he likes that about himself. He likes being controversial. He likes making people talk about things. When he is in treatment and that sort of thing, it makes him feel dull. It doesn't even make him feel like him anymore. And that's the struggle he's having. And that's not for me or anyone to say what to do. I see both sides, where this is Kanye, and Kim very much wants to keep the family together, because she herself went through a messy divorce with her parents. But again, these struggles, to bring this back down to our level here, because we're talking about like superstardom. We plan struggles in our life, any struggles, to learn from karmic patterns. We all have karmic patterns. Anything you see in a systematic or an approach that is something that's happening over and over and over again. So let's just say we have a toxic boyfriend. If you don't let go of that karmic pattern and cut that cord and then go through the karmic pattern release, you will attract, through the law of attraction, another person just like that. And that goes for anything. That goes for any situation. So when I've been very much guided to talk about Kim and Kanye, and let me just say, I do not talk about celebrities just off the cuff. I'm not one of those people who wants to say, let me just do a quick reading. I don't do that. My message here to everybody when we talk about Kim and Kanye is that we need to learn from this, that this impasse was planned by both of them before they were born, to learn from. And if they do not face this right now, like we all need to face our challenges and our karma. I did it myself. I have loads of clients I'm helping clear their karma. If we don't face it and we run away, it will come up another way. And where I'm seeing this come up is through their children. Their children are going to deal with the same ailment of bipolar. So, and I'm not saying medical things are solved spiritually, but the karmic part of this can be solved. The karmic part, the love part, the spirituality part, they can come together when they solve their karma, as we all can. And hey, Holly. Yeah, Holly, I'm glad you jumped in. Nesbeth is going to go get cord cutting from Nikki. You let her know about it, okay? Because I was talking about you. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I had this dream last night about Kim and Kanye where like she just feels like she's juggling so much. Literally was in like a gown with like a baby on her arm and like she's juggling all this stuff and she's very much worried about this person that she loves. And I don't feel that they really would want to I don't feel that she really wants to divorce him. I don't. And the parallel I can put that there is with Chloe and Lamar. Like, how long did Chloe hang out there? How long did Chloe not tell anybody? I mean, so Kim has that same spirit in her, and she's just worried about protecting herself and her children when she really needs to understand that this is a family thing and they need to clear it and face it together, and they're going to be stronger together when they face it. So my blessings to Kim and Kanye and family. All right. Okay, so DM, let me do your, you're like, do it. I tell everybody, anybody who has any kind of energetic issue, you need to go see Nikki because like she'll change your life. Okay, your date of birth is, let me figure out your life path and then I'm going to answer your question. And the reason I do the life path is because it gives me a window into your blueprint for your life. And I do a lot more intense things here where I use astrology, numerology, and sacred geometry to actually delineate down to where you went off the road, but just your birth date helps me answer quick questions. Okay, so that's your attitude. Okay, so there are a lot of people coming today that have double numbers. So you are a 9 life path and you are also a 9 attitude. And what a 9 does is a 9 learns their lessons through endings of things. It could be an ending for anything. I do have a life path series coming out right now. I have 1, 2, and 3 up. I'm going to be finishing through next week and the week after that life path series. I'll be explaining each life path in detail on these videos. Again, I have 1, 2, and 3 up. So again, a 9 learns things through endings. So you may have a lot of relationships in your life that just kind of went away and you were like, where'd that go? Why is this person not talking to me anymore? It's because you planned it that way so you can learn your lesson specifically. Is you're not supposed to value yourself on if somebody pays attention to you and if somebody harms you. Your lesson is to value yourself for yourself. Give yourself that love and validation that you're looking for from other people. In a past life, dear, let me see. So now your karma with this. This is your karma, okay? So your karma here is you were the person in several past lives that kind of left people high and dry. And you did it for your own accord. Like it made you feel better. It was better for your life in that life. So you are now, see, and this is how karma works. Karma is not what everybody thinks it is. Karma is not where we're getting punished karma is a balance. So in a past life where you, and Holly's a great example of this actually, in a past life where you were leaving people abandoned, leaving them, I mean, there was a woman who you left, who was a wife, she had many kids, and you just decided you didn't want that life anymore. And you just left her and she was in a bad situation. So now you left her. You came into this life having to experience what it feels like to be abandoned like that, because that's the balance. It's not a punishment, it's a balance. 2 years, huh? Okay, let me do your cards. I'll see. Yeah, you were hitting, how old are you? 89, okay. You are definitely in that firm Saturn returns place in your life, DM, where every 30 years or so, Saturn comes back. And when Saturn comes back, it kind of messes our life up. But it's meant to do that in order to wake us up and realize that we're living in our old karma. And when life gets really, really nuts, I mean, for myself, for Holly, it was all around the same age. It was between 26 and 29, where it was like, I'm not in the right place in my life. I don't know why I don't feel good. I don't know why. And that's that Saturn returns. You need to right now, DM, is figure out which part is your intuition and which part's your ego. Your ego is what programmed you, where you grew up, who you grew up with, the values you grew up with. That's your ego. And generally we want to ignore that because that steers us down really bad places. your intuition is coming straight from source, straight through your guides. And your intuition is the one that you're like, I would never do that. I would never, like, I fear that. I was just talking to a client this morning, and he said to me, he's like, that's really scary. That's because, without going too much into his background, he's looking for a job. He hasn't been able to get one. And I said, they keep telling me that you're supposed to be going on a spiritual journey. You're supposed to be talking to people about what we talk about. You're not supposed to be chasing the money. The money will come. And he said, that's the scariest thing I ever heard in my life. And that is exactly what you need to be doing. When you find that scary thing, for me, it was realizing that I wasn't treating people very well. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the scariest thing for me was to realize that I was creating all of the chaos in my life and I needed to stop it, and without blaming other people. That was mine. I had to realize that. Everybody has this realization of, who am I and what do I need to do to change into who my soul wants me to be? Okay, back to your question. I'm sorry. The guides are really telling me, before I answer this question for you, Dia, what is it going to value your life to have the answer of he cheated on you or not? Did this person cheat on you or not? Is there value in a positive way that's going to help you along in your life's journey to know if that actually happened? Hey, nice to see you. If you have a question, go ahead and put it in. Let me know though, like I can answer this question for you, but what you need to do is when you ask questions like that, like it's like a question of like, hey, did my dad ever hit me? Like, what does that do for somebody to understand that? I'm good. So let's walk along the line that maybe he did cheat on you. Okay. How does that make you feel? Okay. Does it help your life? It would help you to know that he didn't. This goes back to what I'm saying about this is an emotional abandonment. So it's an ending. Okay. So whether or not it happened, you're thinking it happened. So let's just go with that. Okay. Learn through that ending. I guess I'm going through this phase right now of I did not see all these things, and you don't need to see all of them. You don't. You're feeling stupid. You're feeling, I can totally feel this, that you're coming and you're saying that, how could I not see this? This is dumb. I'm so stupid. Okay, hold up right now. You need to stop saying that. You're not dumb. You're not stupid. This had nothing to do with you. Okay. The only part that had to do with you was that you needed to learn how it felt to be loved conditionally. Do you know what that means? Being loved only if you XYZ. Being loved unconditionally means you never have to question somebody. You never even have to question in your mind. And you don't know what that feels like yet. Because your vibration is definitely attracting all of these people who love you conditionally and definitely don't treat you well. And it's all about changing that vibration, clearing your karma, changing your vibration, and turning into who your soul wants you to be. So you're in the Saturn return right now. What are you most scared of doing? What are you most scared? What's the choice you are being told, you keep thinking about, but it scares you to death to do it in order to improve your life? Yeah. And remember, I want you to remember, DM, okay? If you want to make a session with me, I think that would actually be really helpful for you. I have the link at the top. What I want you to remember, all of these questions, all of these people who left and abandoned you didn't have to do with them. Okay, this all had to do with you realizing how you're creating all of this. And it is, we create our reality. We invite people into our lives who harm us. And even though you say you don't see it, you did see it and you ignored it. And the thing is, don't feel guilty about that. Don't feel bad about that, because right now you're changing it. You're changing it. Okay, you're changing it for your life. And I'm saying this not just for you. There's other people out here that need to hear this. Anytime that you feel guilty because you didn't see choices other people made, that is not valuable information for you. That's not valuable in that you couldn't do anything to change anybody at any time in anything. The only thing you can change is yourself. All right. So I spent, I'll give you a quick example. I spent years and years and years and years thinking about my parents, and my parents abandoned me. My parents just, I'm not even going into that story, but I spent years thinking, what is wrong with me? Who doesn't love their daughter? I spent years of my life completely miserable because I thought the two people in the world who mattered the most to make me who I am abandoned me and hate me. And really, the only person who makes me who I am is me. I love me. And that's my goal in all of getting to all of you is you need to realize you need to love you first. That's not selfish. That is selfless because when you love yourself first, you can give other people love and you attract the people who love you. Okay, great. I'm so glad you made an appointment. The thing is, though, like when people realize that we ignore things. Okay, I'm going to go back to what I talked about with Kim Kardashian. Okay, she ignored a lot of stuff. She thought she could deal with a lot of stuff. Okay, the fact is that when you ignore it, it doesn't go away. Like it just gets worse. And let's just say, let's just say she divorces Kanye. You know what's going to happen? She's going to find somebody else who has nearly the same pattern. Okay, and that's the same for the rest of us. Is we have to face our karma and our patterns, and the fact is we all get sucked into this law of attraction thing under false pretenses. I mean, they make it look so easy, don't they? That everybody who reads anything about the law makes it look so easy. Oh, if I just put this out there and I just make this vision board, it's going to happen. No, it will happen when you make yourself as positive and whole and non-judgmental of yourself and other people. That's when you start manifesting things. I didn't think it was possible until I started doing it myself. But that's a whole other story. Everybody who's new, welcome. If you have any questions, you can put them. Hey, Melinda. Put them in the chat box. I do have a new series coming out on YouTube right now. And everybody, I just want to take just a short moment just to go, oh my God, I have 1,000 subscribers, over 1,000 subscribers. I am shocked. I only started this channel about 4 months ago, 4 months ago. I'm just so happy that you guys all love hearing my message because that's really why I'm here. I'm just here to help all of you, really. So I have a new series coming out on YouTube. I have Life Paths 1, 2, and 3 already published. I'm going to be explaining life path numbers in detail in this series. I'm right now with all of my clients, I've asked them a few questions, and what I'm going to be doing with those questions is using the sacred geometry method that I have learned in order to delineate down exactly where they lost their way on their life path. And it's pretty easy once you understand sacred geometry and numerology and a tad bit of astrology. But I'm going to be putting that on YouTube. So look for that series. If you're new, make sure you like this live stream and subscribe to my channel, please. Thanks, Melinda. What was I talking about? Somebody had a question. I missed a question. No, thank you. Thank you. I'm shocked. Honestly, it's happened so quickly. Let me reiterate for everybody who's new what I have just been talking to a DM who had this question about, she wanted to know if a certain person has betrayed her or had betrayed her in the past. They're not together. What I want you guys to ask yourself when you have thoughts like that is if it benefits you to know either way. Because you only really want to find out information that's going to better you. So make sure when you're, I literally am saying judging yourself. Make sure when you're judging yourself that you're doing it under true reasoning, because most people, like DM here, is she was saying, oh, I didn't see it. How didn't I see it? I'm so stupid. I didn't see it. You're not stupid. Okay. That was your defense mechanism in order to make your life more comfortable. Okay. And that's what a lot of people do to us is like the term's gaslighting, but hey, how you doing? That a lot of people do that to us. It's called gaslighting in psychology. But what gaslighting ultimately is other people trying to get us into a certain position to make them comfortable. All right. And really, we know what's going on and we just kind of allow it in our life until we get strong enough to go, not anymore. Okay. I can give you a general reading. Can you give me your date of birth, please? Why am I getting really loud? Like loud. Is it loud around you? Like it's either loud around you or it's loud inside your head. It's loud inside my head. That's why I'm asking. Um, Great, DM. I look forward to meeting with you. Just a note, that link above is for the general link for anybody to make an appointment. If you join Patreon, I have appointments waiting for Patreon every week for my Patreon members that are a lot sooner than what's available on there. So if you choose to join Patreon, I can get you in quicker. Not at the moment. Like, you're not thinking about anything? Okay. Put a pause on that because that could be coming from somewhere else. All right. Your reading has come out. Central question here is, are you secure in who you are? Are you secure in, and the meaning of this for you is, are you secure in who you are regardless of what everybody else is thinking? Let's go down your past. It looks like you've had a relationship. That's right. Let me put that down. 4591. You had a relationship. And you're like the perfect archetype of a working parent. So that would mean that you're balancing your responsibilities very, very well. That would mean that there's two sides of the responsibility. So when it says working parent, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have children and you work. It just means there's two sides of a coin that you're balancing very well. But that was in the past. You balanced that very well. There was a romantic connection, but you in that relationship. So you were balancing, you were in this relationship, but you also felt very drawn down by it. So let's move to the present. Okay. Let's go to the present. You're questioning yourself. I'm getting ahead of myself. Hold on. Let me get your life path real quick. Another 11-2. I can't believe how many of you guys have come on to me today. Okay, so you're a master number 11, but a 2, which means balance is where you live. You love balanced things. You love harmony. You love when people get together and everyone's calm. If any kind of conflict comes, you literally are running out the door because you can't handle it, because you love harmony. You like when people get together and get along. And that relationship that you had was definitely a lesson for you. I don't think you have gotten where the lesson was directed, though. So this central message, see, everybody, see, this is why the life path is so important for helping me along, helping you. So when we're talking about if you're secure in yourself, that relationship, you're allowing that relationship to define you. So in the failure of that relationship, you yourself feel like you failed. And that's not at all true. They want me to underline that. That's not at all true. So let's look at the rest of this. So the next card above it, when it's talking about if you're secure in yourself, the card above it, 3 of Pentacles, is asking you or telling you that everybody has a role to play in these relationships. So you weren't the whole relationship. So you can't blame yourself for all of it. Even if there is a bit of you in there, there always is somebody else. Everybody has a role to play. And you need to make sure that you're putting those people in their proper roles and not taking it on for yourself, because you're taking on guilt and failure and all these bad feelings for yourself. And they're just like, oh, I'm going away to a new life. And there's that certain part of resentment that's coming up. Okay. Next card under the present is talking about you need to let all your worries go and just do it. Just whatever you're thinking, what's going to make you happy? What is going to, I'm not even talking long term. I'm talking in the next week. What would be fun? Do something fun that really makes you feel the joy in yourself again. So in the future, the cornerstone card is the happy family card, just to let you know. So you are headed towards a happy ending here. You are deeply, deeply hurt right now, deeply hurt. And even though this must have happened a little while ago. I mean, it was not immediately. You're still feeling that pain. Um, this person you were with, um, this person you were with, I love when I get this card. Okay. You're going to love this too. This person that you were with has something called Peter Pan syndrome. And if you know what Peter Pan syndrome is, go ahead and give me a heart in there. If you're new, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, please. Peter Pan syndrome is when somebody does not want to grow up. Somebody does not want responsibilities. So they do what they're told and they just kind of think life's going to move along, especially this one. Life's going to move on, being taken care of and carefree, and I don't have any responsibilities whatsoever because I'm just me. That's literally what I'm just me. I don't need to do anything. That's what Peter Pan syndrome is, where they don't want to grow up. Um, Holly, I call your husband something else, Holly. So they don't want to grow up. And that's where this card was coming from. Yeah, I can give you a general reading, Bethany. Go ahead, general love reading. Go ahead and give me your date of birth so I can get more tuned into your life path. So when this card came out, when it was talking about being the archetypal working parent, okay, which honestly, Holly is a very good example of a working parent, which she's a very good relationship with her children and doing very well at work. So she balances it really well. You had to take on a lot in this relationship, more than your share. And in doing that, you did do a really good job of it. What I'm seeing, let me put down another card here, because you are getting, you're going to have this like happy family life. You're not with somebody now, are you? I don't think so, no? Because I am seeing this coming together where you're going to have like a complete family. You level of consciousness. Okay. Yep. Deep inner turmoil is coming to an end. And what they're telling me to do, tell you to do, is that you need to start separating your actions, your responsibilities, and your feelings from what you couldn't control. Oh, not you, Bethany, not yet. I'm still on the other one. Okay. So I'm going to move to Bethany right now. If you have any, Avinash, if you have any other questions, I want you to ask me right now, or you can make an appointment to see me. The link is at the top. But the big thing for you, Avinash, is that you need to let go of things that were not your doing and were not your control. Do not hold any negative feelings for yourself there, okay? All right, Bethany. I love your name, Bethany. Okay, April 7th. I cannot believe how many Master 11s and 2s I've gotten today. Okay. So Bethany, your life path is a 4, which basically means that you're basically a human lie detector, for the lack of better terms. If anyone's new here, make sure you hit that like button and you subscribe to my channel. You're so welcome, Avinash. Make sure that you come back and hit the bell, Avinash. When I come back live, you can ask me more questions if you need to, okay? Bethany, you're like a human lie detector. Anybody ever tell you that? Like, you can smell bullshit like from a mile away, which I love. I like those kind of people. I might have been one of those people. So let's see. You want a love reading? Okay. You don't have to answer this, Bethany, because I try to walk the line on here about personal information and in a public forum. But I'm seeing they want me to validate with you that, how do I put this delicately? That it's okay to feel how you feel towards anybody, regardless of social standards and gender. Okay. Um, I think you've had some question there, and they're validating with you that you're perfectly fine. You're fine. Um, so you tend to attract the people. Okay, you've asked yourself before, like, why do these people come into my life who, think I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to, who think I'm just going to like put up with all of this. And you've questioned before, um, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong here? Haven't we all? Um, the first thing I'm going to tell you that I tell everybody is about your vibration. Right now, it's really coming, your vibration is coming out as like, hi, here I am. Like me, but you don't have anything behind that. You don't have anything that's saying to you, saying in your vibration that's like, I'm valuable, I'm lovable, I'm respectable. There's something in you that's saying that you. I mean, did you have somebody in your life in your past tell you that like you're doing something wrong, or like Holly's daughter's coming into my head, where her ex-husband tells her daughter all the time, like, no one's ever going to want to date you. Like, did you have somebody like that in your life where somebody was constantly putting you down as a child? Let me get to your cards. Okay. You approach your life. That's how I want you to respond to that, Bethany. Yeah, there's some gems. Okay. Part of you has taken that inside yourself to internalize it, though, and you need to realize that. And when you have questions about your love life, and you think about, looked good, but then turned out they weren't good, release it. Say, I see it, I feel it, I release it. All right, and that will let your guides and the universe know that you're recognizing that pattern, and those kind of people don't need to come back in your life. Yeah, Holly, like, I'm waving the red flag, Holly, I really am. Bethany, Holly is my best friend, and she gets on here whenever she has a free time to get on. So thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so let me put your cards down. I was about to say that your attitude number is the one that, so your life path's a 4, which is your human lie detector. All right, which, like, if you even get a little gut feeling of somebody lying, you're like, they're lying, and they probably are. So the attitude is what the flavoring you bring to that life path is. And you like very much balance and harmony. Okay. So you seem like a very, I say boxy person. I don't mean offense by that. What I mean is that, like, you like the truth and you like everybody to get along. And that's how you're going to be happy for the rest of your life. And it just hasn't happened yet. Holly's a lot like that, actually. But here we go. You're reading for love. Okay. There's some changes in you that you're resisting to make your love life better. And I'm not saying changing anything about your appearance. I'm not change anything about where you are, what you live, what you're doing. You need to change something inside of you. Okay, so along with the vibration thing, I'm going to quickly go back to what I was talking about a half hour ago. Law of attraction, and I'm sure you've heard about this, Bethany. Law of attraction is where you can manifest anything. You can manifest anything, but you first need to manifest yourself into being like a good, loving, unconditionally loved person for yourself, and then you can manifest things. So there are some flaws that you feel you have that are unchangeable, but that's not true. You can absolutely change anything about yourself. And I'm going to leave it there. I want you to understand that whatever you feel is a flaw isn't a flaw and doesn't need to be changed. And you need to value that. You need to value what that is. What you don't like about yourself is actually an asset. And that's when the central card is here. You have a lot of resistance to that. And when you let that go is when you're going to start attracting people who actually treat you well. Cornerstone is talking about keep going. Have you had trouble with depression, or you've had trouble with valuing yourself? You've had trouble with never feeling good enough. And when you get a team, they're saying get a team. When you have a team together to put you together, it supports you, then you're going to learn. And again, I'm going to suggest go ahead and make an appointment with me because I can help you do this too. I feel like this is a lot of karma coming up, a lot of karma. The future cards, you have a reverse moon, which is great because when you get the moon upright means there's lying in your life, there's betrayal, but you have it reversed in the future, which means your anxieties without this are going to come to an end. So you're working towards really valuing yourself, and then you're going to get there. Okay? If you have any questions, you can make an appointment with me, or you can just put another question here and I can elaborate a bit more. Oh, no, your anxieties are coming to an end. That's what's good. So you're going to stop worrying that you're not good enough. Okay. I'm just wondering, Bethany, if you have any questions, let me know, okay? I'm wondering what will end up. Thank you. I saw this. Thank you for re-putting this back in. Oh, you're so sweet, Bethany. I hope you stick around. Make sure you subscribe and like it, okay? Okay. Elia. I'm wondering what will end up in connection with this guy, John, I'm interested in. Okay. 12, 14, 22, 8, 10. Okay. So you're a 3 life path. I'm a 3 life path. We're kind of awesome. So let me tell you a little bit about yourself. 3 life path, where you are very comfortable being the center of attention. You communicate very well. You have a magnetic personality that people very much draw to. And if you're thinking that this is not me at all, I don't know what this lady's talking about, that is because something happened earlier in your life where it changed you. So remember, that is exactly who you are. Now, your attitude going into it is an 8, and 8s are very much value oriented. So if you don't value someone, if you don't value situations, people, you just pretend they're not there and you move on because they're not valuable to you. So bye. Which is actually a really good combination with a 3, honestly. So let's get to John. Is that his given name, or is that a nickname? Because they're telling me that's not actually his name. That fell out of my hand. Let's put that one down. All right, let me put your cards down. Okay, so the 3 that fell out. Do you feel like you're not, it's saying you feel like a fraud with him. Like you feel like he's going to find you out. Like you're not good enough for him and you're trying to be something that you're not. So let's see where that goes. This all looks good, honestly. I think there were some financial issues that you, again, value. Do you feel like you're, again, I mean, it's like you feel like you're not valuable enough, or you've lost financially, so you've taken that in and you've said, this is who I am. I lost finances, and you've internalized that. And then you've had a huge change in, I keep seeing work. Is this a connection through work? You changed jobs. This is a huge change, and that's what I'm seeing. So you change, there's a big change, and now we're coming into the present. Hey, cheese pie. Now we're coming into the present. So think about where that huge change would be. It looks like a work situation. Um, if you're new here, make sure that you hit the like button on this live stream and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, put your date of birth and the question in there, and I will get to you next. So the center of this card is talking about emotional fulfillment. But what they're telling me is that you will be, you're interested in this person, and this person will be interested in you once you start showing who you are and not who you think they want you to be. Because they're very different. That's why the name, like John's very different than who he appears to be. Like he is a very loving, and I'm not saying he's not appearing that, but even more so, like in private. That you'd be surprised. That's what they're saying. Like, so maybe they're telling me this name is kind of like this mask, this front. And when you get into his world, you're going to realize like he really just puts out what people, I tell everybody all the time, this is what Taylor Swift does. She just shows everybody little parts of herself that are okay for everybody to see, but nobody really actually knows who she is except her friends and her family. That's what this John's doing. So don't try to pretend with him. Just be who you are. And it's saying that it is going to be good. It's going to be good. Cornerstone is talking about, again, we're going back to the value of things. Make sure that you're not focusing totally on finances and value when you're in this situation. Make sure that you are focused on the spiritual growth and the emotional growth of it, because that's where you're going to learn your lessons. When you have an 8 in your life path, which is your attitude, you tend to miss the emotional part of it, and it's all about material things. It's all about getting more, giving more, getting more. And emotionals are just kind of like, why do I need those? That's really important for this relationship. So I do see it working out for you. If you can just be yourself, sweetie, okay? All right. Anybody else have any other questions for me? Cheese Pie, do you have any questions? Let's see. It is 1:30. My throat is holding out today. I'm spot on. We're good. I have my water. Take a little sip, excuse me. Let's talk about Mercury retrograde. When I first started this live stream, I started talking about Mercury retrograde, and I need to tell you all, okay, this is the best advice I ever gave to anybody. Was yesterday. This lady messaged me on Instagram, had a question about like an ex, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Mercury retrograde, this is the worst one I've ever felt. All you need to do is eat food and watch TV for the next 3 weeks and do not commit to anything, because this retrograde has everybody like, oh, don't go into any relationships, don't sign any contracts, don't go into any financial deals. I wouldn't even get a library card right now, because the next 3 weeks are, hey, Holly, hello, Holly, the house, you draw it out for 3 weeks. Actually, I don't think you're going to have to, Holly. I think it will do that itself. But this Mercury retrograde is like major. It's just heavy. Everybody's on the internet. It's been almost a year now. We've all been on the internet, and that's having a major effect on our grid, our global grid. That might have some electrical effects, and don't get upset if like your entire town goes down one day. It'll come back up. Okay. Well, I'll say some blessings, Holly. I see no, Holly, you're going to get the house. I hate Mercury retrograde. So yeah, so this Mercury retrograde is just really, really, really strong. So even when the retrograde ends on February 20th, like 3-4 days after it, we still have the shadow of Mercury retrograde. So just, 3-4 days after that, then you'll be fine. Oh my God, Melinda, let me tell you, retrogrades always get me. I mean, I feel like I need to put a disclaimer out to everybody I talk to, like Mercury retrograde, just understand, okay? Because being psychic, it affects me, and Melinda also has gifts in different ways than it affects all of you. Like you guys are just like, oh, shoot, I'm late to work. And I'm all like, oh my God, I had a dream I was possessed last night. Like that, it's, oof. So if anybody has a question, make sure you, I can babble forever. Holly, right? I can babble. I can talk forever. So make sure you put your question with your date of birth in the chat box. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I did talk about Kim and Kanye. Talked about Mercury retrograde. I was going to talk about the law of attraction if it came up. Oh, right. Okay, so I have a Patreon live event coming on. Oh, thanks, Holly. I have a Patreon live event coming on, and Patreon is the platform where people get one-on-one with me almost every day, honestly, either through the written journals, which I spend a lot of time going through, helping people with their lives, and also one-to-one meetings just like this, but it's just be you and me. I have a Patreon live event for all of my members and me just to kind of hang out on March 19th. And if you want to be invited to that event, all you have to do is head on over to Patreon and join any level. I also am very excited that I have merchandise. I refuse to call it merch. I'm not one of those people. Okay. Did I do that right? Okay. So, yeah. Oh, Melinda, my dreams, I swear, Holly asks me all the time. She's like, don't you ever have good dreams? No. People are always coming to me in the middle of the night. Like, I just died. Do you want to know how I died? No. Like, unless it's going to help me, unless like you have a message to get to somebody, I don't need to know it. Okay. Like one time it was like a bombing in the Middle East. And I'm like, I really don't need to experience that anymore. Anywho, there's my Patreon. You can join at any level on Patreon and you'll be invited to all the live events. You can schedule with me closer than anybody in the public can one-on-one. And I try to upload my podcasts on there 2-3 times a week. This week's been a little long, so I didn't get much up there. But you also get exclusive content that I don't put on YouTube. And hopefully Melinda and Holly can attest to that. I put on a lot of good stuff on Patreon that I don't put on YouTube because I save it for all my Patreon members. So if you want to spend more time with me and learn how I can help you through your karmic patterns and get back on your life path, head on over to Patreon and I can help you there. All right. So... Oh, okay. They're telling me to talk to you about my carpet dream. Fine, I'll tell you about my carpet dream. I did tell this by Patreon, but I think I did. Did I publish that one? I don't remember if I did. So I had this dream while I was going through my dark night where it's the Mercury retrograde. That is why we are having crazy dreams right now. Like I was Kim Kardashian last night. I mean, only in my dreams, right? But like, hello. So I had this dream about a year, maybe a year and a half ago when I was going through my dark night of the soul, where I really had just forgotten like really who I was. And that's what happens when you go through dark night of the soul, where I was going through this living room and there was glass windows. And then my husband was sitting on a sofa on this side and I was walking this way. And I knew there were kids I needed to get at this doorway into the basement. I needed to go save them. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get them. And I had to walk across this green carpet. And every step I took on this carpet, the carpet would like rise up like it's the ocean. Okay. And then here's me being like the fighter that I was. I'm like, I'm not going to deal with this. I grabbed a broom and started like banging down the carpet, like trying to get to the door. And I got like a step away from the door to get where these kids are. And all of a sudden the carpet flew up off the ground and like started tossing me around like a ball in the ocean. And like, I realized that I couldn't get anywhere. Like, and I'm hitting it and it came up in this one. And I remember looking over at my husband and screaming, help me. Cause I knew the next thing I was going to be taken under by it. And all of a sudden he's waking me up and he's saying, Stacey, you were screaming. Are you okay? And I was so tired. I literally, all I could say to him was like, thank you for waking me up. And I rolled back over. And what that dream meant was that there were so many places I needed to go and I wanted to go to improve myself and help people. But that carpet was my depression, that the carpet was my ego. And it did not want to go anywhere. And it was fighting me and I was fighting it. And after I had that dream, that was the moment that I realized I need to stop fighting my own ego and just ignore it. And that's what I did until I broke up out of the cement of the dark night of the soul and aligned with my soul's will. But dreams are interesting. You guys need to pay attention to your dreams because, oh yeah, the other one where I was like wandering around my town asking for directions, how to get home. And everybody was literally telling me the same directions. I'm like, no, you're not right. I'm going to ask that person. And then I woke up and I went, yeah, I think I know the directions. Everyone's telling me what to do and I'm just not listening. I mean, just listen to your dreams because they're so important. And your dreams are how people on other dimensions can get to you quickly. So even those crazy dreams that you're like, I don't know what that was, anything that's vivid and you actually can feel sensory things with, those are important dreams and you need to pay attention to. Um, all right. Any other questions? About 5 minutes left before I go into my next meeting. So I can take questions. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button and you subscribe to my channel. Thank you, Melinda. Yeah, here's the thing with me. Like I really I don't know. I just am who I am. When I look at other people and they're like trying to do all these readings and they're trying to be all these like, spiritual people, like no, I'm like an actual person. You know, like I'm just like you guys and I'm just trying to get through life like you guys are. And if I have experiences that can help you, I have gifts that can help you, I'm going to do it. Sometimes I talk like a sailor and just deal with that. I like to think I'm funny, but thank you so much. Again, I'm super excited, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm over 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and it's been 4 months. I mean, thank you so much. If you want to schedule a time with me, the link is at the top. My Patreon link is right there. Easiest thing for you to do is just subscribe to my channel and stay with me. I'm also over on Instagram, which I've been ignoring this week. I'm really sorry, Instagram. I'm over on Instagram, and you can follow me there, and people DM me and ask me questions all the time there too. All right, so if there aren't any other more questions, what I want to tell you is the next 3 weeks, I want you just to hold on, okay? And don't make any rash decisions. So Holly, you were going to get this house anyway. I'm thinking it's going to be okay. What I'm talking about is don't go buy a house and you didn't have another idea. Like this is brand new. Don't do any new ideas for the next 3 weeks. Okay. Get to March and then March feels better. All right. Oh, and also please send blessing and wishes to the Kardashian West family because they do need them. You guys have a wonderful weekend and I will chat with you soon.